Hello guys, it's me, Rach. Today we're going to be doing a full body workout. You asked for it, and it's coming your way. So let's get started here in an all fours position, shall we? Warming up the body here. Let's have the toes untucked, pressing the tops of the feet down, round the spine up, and then pull yourself through your arms. Keep moving here nice and slow. And then we're going to tuck the toes, just send the hips back and forth, and back and forward. So warming up the hips, the shoulders, using your breath. For 3, 2, 1, pause with that seat back. Once again, untuck the toes, walk the hands forward, come into a child's pose. Let the hips get really heavy. Maybe tend up onto the fingertips, bigger release for the shoulders here. Let the head get heavy in between the hands. Take a nice big inhale and a deep exhale. Plant the hands down onto the floor, roll yourself back forward, tuck the toes, press it back into a downward dog. Take a second to pedal through the legs. Engage through the legs. Think about flaring the sits bones up towards the ceiling, wrapping the armpits away from one another. Alright. If you can, plant the feet down. If you can't, do not stress. And then slowly, one hand at a time, start to walk your way back towards the back end of the mat. Hang in a forward fold for a second. Generously bend the knees and just let the head fall to the floor. Inhale to breathe. Exhale to let go. Slowly roll it up one bone at a time. Shoulders are going to roll back at the top. We're going to roll it back down one bone at a time. And then start to walk your hands back towards the front end of the mat. This time coming through into a plank. Breastbone pulls forward, kneecaps lift up, press the floor away using your arms. Send the hips up and back using your low abs. Nice and slowly walk the hands back towards the feet. You get where we're going with this. You're going to roll it all the way on up. Shoulders roll back. Melt the spine down one bone at a time. Hands plant onto the mat, walk yourself out into your plank. Breastbone pulls forward, we pause for a second, send the hips back through the low abs, walk it on back. And roll it on up. Shoulders roll back, melt it back on down. Walk it on up, and walk it out, walk it out. Next time you're there, let's drop the knees down here. Send the hips slightly back in space. Lift the low belly up, and then shift the weight forward, come down into a push-up, and then straighten the arms. Hello, plants. We're going to go narrow with the arms. Honestly, my best self is just when I'm in a bunch of plants. For 3, for 2, last one. Straighten through the arms, lift up the hips, walk it up and back. Walk the hands now towards the feet. Roll it all the way on up. All right, maybe take a little step forward here so you have some space. Hands come onto the hips. We're going to send the hips back into a squat. Press into the feet, lift on back up. Squat back and up. Knees press slightly out in our squats. Adding in the arms reach forward. Press the hands back as you stand up. Maybe challenging yourself to get a little bit lower and a little bit deeper in your squat. It's so healthy for our hips. Just making sure that we're not losing this connection to our abs. For 2. Hold it. Reach the fingertips forward, little tuck of the tailbone. Breathe for 3, 2, 1. Stand it up. Hands come to the hips. Legs stay pretty straight. Start to send the hips back. Hinge the upper body forward. Press into the feet. Stand it on up. And back up. Without changing the position of the feet, can you think heels towards one another, toes apart? Find length through the hamstrings. Reach through the crown of the head. Wrap through the abs. For 2. And 1, stand it all the way on up. Similar, but this time the legs are going to go wide. Toes are off of the mat. Send the hips back, chest forward, press into the feet, lift back on up, wrap the inner thighs forward. Go back, and press through the heels, lift up, wrap the butt cheeks. Go until you feel a stretch through your hamstrings. Since the legs are straight, we're sending the butt back. It is going to be pretty intense. You don't want to pull anything. That's not the point. Point is to get stronger, gaining a little bit of mobility while gaining stability. And fun. That is the point. The point is that it's fun. You're like, questionable. For 2, keep pressing down into the feet. All right, hold that hinge forward for me. Bring the fingertips down as much as you can. Walk yourself forward and then adjust the legs so they're back to parallel your back into that plank. We're going to bend the knees back, come into this crouch, and then you're going to bring it back forward. We bend back, keep the hands strong, and forward. Feel similar. It's that warm-up that we did in the beginning for our hips. Just a lot more core engagement now. Really press through the feet, press down through the hands. We have 3. We got 2. Send the hips back, straighten through the legs if you can. Walk the feet this time forward to the front end of the mat. Sit your booty all the way on down, or to get to the ground however you would like. Hands come back behind our legs, just to help us roll down one bone at a time. Laying all the way on down, bring the hands back behind the head, feet flat onto the ground. Nice big inhale, we're going to exhale to curl up, and then inhale to lower. We exhale, curl, and lower. Gaining some mobility this time through our upper thoracic spine. So that means our pelvis stays completely neutral. Our thigh bones are melting into our hip sockets. And this movement is coming from the rolling up of our spine and down of our spine. Let the head be heavy, arms be strong. For 3. You can do it for 2. Curl it up and hold it there. Drop the tailbone even heavier. Lengthen through the arms, just metaphorically, maybe by reaching through the elbows. That's not at all what metaphorically means. Pulse up and up. Anything is anything these days. For 3, 2, 1. Lower all the way on down. Let's bring arms up towards the ceiling. Legs up into tabletop. Right leg is going to reach out and in, and then other side. Give yourself an inhale, and then as you exhale, can you settle the rib cage to the floor a little bit heavier? Start to add in the opposite arm, reaching back and forward. Think strong through the torso, strong through the trunk, so it's easier for the limbs to move with purpose. We've got another 4. Using your breath to connect to your core. Last one, hug the knees into the chest for a second, check in with the low back, maybe a little rock side to side. Legs come back into tabletop, hands come back behind the head. Exhale, curl it on up. Extend right leg out long again, bend it in, lower the head. Curl up, extend, lower. Finding length, opening up through that hip every time you extend the leg out. For 3. For 2, you can do it. And 1, hug the knees into the chest, lower all the way on down. We're almost there, right? Legs come back into tabletop. Hands come back behind the head. Exhale, curl it on up. Take your left knee closer to you. Send the right leg away. Bring your right elbow to tap your left knee. From here, bend the right leg in again and out. Keep pressing elbow into knee. You got it. For 3, 2, come through center over to the other side. If it's too much with the elbow to the knee, just take a regular twist. For 3, 2, come through center, curl a little bit higher, take the hands to the tops of the legs, hold and press. Keep pressing the hands into the legs, legs into the hands, and then use this to curl a little bit higher, and then press your low back down here. Nice big inhales, deep exhales. Keep fighting yourself. Know it's temporary. You're gaining strength, gaining that endurance. You can do it for 3, 2, 1. Lower it all the way on down. Hug the knees into the chest. Let's bring the feet flat onto the mat. Hands can rest down. Press through the feet. Send yourself up into a bridge. Open through those hips. And then melt it on down. So we went from articulating through the upper thoracic spine to keeping the upper thoracic spine pretty steady here. Keeping the abs engaged, ribs collected. And really making this lift from the glutes. All right. Last one, you're going to hold it here. Dip right hip down. Press into the right heel, lift up, and then other side. This is one of my favorites. We're practicing stability. We're getting rotation. And it burns. It's a sneaky burn. And just know that whatever your body is feeling is valid. So if you need to make this bigger, make it bigger. If you need to make it smaller, make it smaller. We're going for 4. Energy through the inner thighs for 3, 2. Pulls through center, flare the sits bones, lower down, flat back, almost tap the mat, and then lift the hips back on up. We crease down and up. Can you wrap in as you lower? Find length as you drop the tailbone down. Press into the feet. Lift back on up. We've got 3, 2, lift for a hold, tuck the tailbone just a little bit more, knees reach over the toes, you lift a little higher if you can. Alright, we're going to flare the sits bones, lower back down to that hover, so you have about 3 inches between you and the mat, not even. Keep that, just tuck the tailbone, and then release. one of my favorites. I'll lift my arms just so it's a little more obvious what's going on. We tuck and release, keeping it super low. So what that does is takes any tightness we might have through our quads, through our low back, and it kind of cuts it out of the picture. So we can really focus on the tuck, the wrapping of the butt cheeks, the squeezing of the low glutes. We're also building up those little stabilizers in our low back that help keep our sacrum in place, super important. All right, next time you're in that tuck, stay in the tuck and pulse the hips up, keeping them nice and low, pressing into the feet. We have 4, 3, 2, 1, lower it all the way on down. Cross the right shin over the left thigh and just give yourself a figure 4 stretch here. Flexing through the right foot, maybe a little rock side to side. And then we're just going to switch it right on out, hugging behind the left leg, hugging behind the right leg, flexing the left foot. And then from here, grab behind both legs for me, and we're going to rock and roll it all the way on up to seated. Come back through into your all fours position like when we started. All right, pressing the floor away here. Extend right arm forward, left leg back, and then place it down. So we've been here before, pressing the floor away. This is the same thing we did on our back. We're just on our hands and knees. So can you engage the core just as much as you were before? Lifting the low ribs up to meet the back ribs. And there's no sinking in the shoulders. So we're actively pressing the mat away. All right, for 3, 2. Hold left arm forward, right leg out. Breathing here. Dial the right toes down, lift the right hip up slightly, and then open the limbs out to the side and back. And they go out and back. For 3, 2, slowly bring it down, other side. Pressing the floor away, lifting the left hip slightly, left toes turn in. Be careful you're not dumping the ribs down. You're doing great. For 3, 2, 1. Rest it all the way down. Bring the forearms down. Press the mat away, split the mat in half. Walk the legs back. Walk left leg out, right leg out. Left leg in, right leg in. Right leg out, left leg out. Left, right. So you're walking out, out, in, in. Doing your best to alternate which side you start with. Don't let the butt creep up towards the ceiling. Take one more each way. Hold through center. Breathe for 3, 2, slowly lower it all the way on down. Bring your head down. Rest them on top of your hands. Make a little pillow. And then press the tops of the feet down. Lift the belly up. Take a nice big inhale. We're going to exhale to lift. And inhale to lower. And we lift. And lower. Super important here that you're pulling the low part of your shoulder blades together to lift and not squeezing your shoulders up by your ears. Thinking about pulling forward as you lift up so you're getting longer. For 3, 2, hold it up there. Breathe for 3, 2, 1. Rest the head down. Shake the shoulders out a little here, maybe the pelvis. And then we're going to move to the legs. So you're going to squeeze the legs so much you hover up and down. Belly button is pulling away from the floor. And the fun thing is, sometimes our shoulders grip even when we're doing glute work. So see if you can disconnect your shoulders from your glutes for a second. If this is too much on your pelvis, feel free to grab a blanket or a pillow to place underneath your pelvis. You can roll your mat, use a towel. Lift and hold it. Draw the legs together and out. Very similar to what we were doing in our planks and our all fours. Squeeze together, widen out. For 3, 2. Hold it together. Flex the feet, pull the heels in. Hold the heels pulling towards the butt, heels together, toes apart. Pulse it up and up. Take a break. Make sure you're not getting into that low back. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the legs bent. Just rest the knees down and then windshield wiper your legs side to side. Sweet release. Breathe here. All right, friends. One last round of planks. I think yes. I think absolutely, right? Who doesn't love that? So hands come underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes, use your exhale and try to press it all the way on up here. All right, this is a favorite. Shift your weight slightly forward, roll to the outer blade of the feet. Stay there for a second. Lift your hips, and then just go to the other side. So we're keeping a steady base through the shoulders. I want you to round the upper back. So take a cat-like position with the back. Just go side to side. We're going to layer in the arms if this is feeling okay. So left arm will come up towards the ceiling as you roll to the right side. Come through center, over to the other side. Nice and slow through center, other side. Ooh, this is such a good one. Pressing the floor away, never sinking into the floor. Lift your hips. You're arcing up over a barrel. Last push here, guys. You got it. All right, next time you're in your plank, stay there for me. Breathe for 4, 3, 2, tap the knees down. Bring them wide. Sit back into a child's pose. Shake the hips side to side. Noticing your breath, your body, any changes from the start to class to now. See if there's any tension you can let melt away. And I know it can sound cheesy, but just really take a second to thank yourself for moving your body today, for taking time out of our busy, crazy, crazy lives, and just doing something for us, for our bodies that do so much for us. Slowly roll it all the way on up. You can tuck the toes if you want a little stretch for the feet, leave them untucked, or come to crisscross applesauce. Take the hands back behind you and just start to send the knuckles back, chest open. Let the head go back. Little release for the neck here. Take your hands and bring them to the left side of your body. They're resting near your left hip. And then just drop your ear to the left as well. Especially with neck stretches. Don't go for like the most painful or sensational feeling here. Just be gentle with it. If you want to take a little wiggle of the nose, you can. Come through center on an inhale. Drop the ear to the right. Same thing, if you want a little wiggle of the head, you can do that. meeting your body where it's at today is key. Bring it back through center. Take your hands back once again. Pull the knuckles back. Drop the chin towards the chest this time. Nice big inhale. Deep exhale. And you guys are all set. Thank you so much for taking time to move with me. It means the most. I'm so proud of you guys. As always, please feel free to comment any requests that you have, any questions, anything at all. And until next Tuesday, guys, bye. Love you lots.